Research is our strength to overcome any limitations. Innovation is the guiding vision that drives us towards the future. We cannot face this. Research is our strength to overcome any limitations. Innovation realizes the tremendous potential of the nation's youth in the field of science and technology. Thus, various research and innovation policies are being formulated to develop and cultivate human resources with high competence and aptitude in science and technology. BRIN realizes many a tremendous potential of the nation's form of BRIN's commitment to researchers, innovators, and thus, general various research and innovation various research and innovation regional research and innovation agency, or REDA. Moreover, cooperation with various foreign research institutions various research development institutions. Oriented by a national research priority, BRIN routinely enacts innovation facility. Oriented by a national research priority, BRIN routinely enacts located across 17 regions of Indonesia, dedicated towards the development of science and technology. BRIN continues to improve our contribution to research and innovation towards national development. BRIN routinely enacts revitalizing 4 areas of science and technology regions of Indonesia, dedicated towards the development of science and technology. An integrated area, BRIN consisting of research laboratory facilities, testing laboratories, industrial facilities, BRIN routinely startups and SMEs, 4 areas of science office technology regions of Indonesia, working space towards the development of meeting room technology. Gallery room, an integrated area, BRIN consisting of research laboratory facilities, testing laboratories, industrial facilities, BRIN routine startups, SMEs, BRIN areas of office manifest the future of working space towards the development of meeting room technology. Gallery room, an integrated area, BRIN consisting of research laboratory facilities, testing laboratories, industrial facilities, BRIN startups, SMEs, BRIN by consolidating science and technology resources and creating a resource ecosystem and research-based economical foundation. Transforming Indonesia as a global reference in the development and application of science and technology practices and the goods of humankind. Creating a resource is the source of inspiration. Research-based economical foundation. Transforming Indonesia as a safe nation in the development of science and technology. And consolidating science and technology resources, creating a research-based economical foundation, transforming Indonesia as a global reference in the development and application of
Innopolis University is focused not only on education and basic research, but also on empowering digital transformation around the globe through research and development in the fields of information technology, AI, and robotics. For the 10 years of its existence, the R&D departments of Innopolis University have already reached the levels of a modern technological company. Today, Innopolis University has over 500 industrial partners and 500 completed projects, 10 technological centers, whose income reached more than $32 million per year. One of the best research centers of artificial intelligence in Russia. National Center of Excellence for Robotics and Unmanned Systems, and an international platform for continuing education, which has already trained 70,000 professionals for various industries and governments. We successfully combine science, education, and business to solve the challenges of companies across various industries in the modern economy. By 2030, our goal is to become one of the leading providers of solutions and talent for business and government through international partnerships and the creation of opportunities and innovations with a truly global reach.
Research is our strength to overcome any limitations. Innovation is the guiding vision that drives us towards the future. We cannot face this alone. We must stand together to make our vision a reality. Growing strong upon the land of Nusantara, a magical place filled with miracle and wonder. A land spanning 2 continents and 2 oceans, rich in culture and biodiversity. We and Indonesia are the necessary combination to realize the grand visions of the future. Like an orchestra, BRIN harmonizes research, development, assessment, application, and also synergies, invention, and innovation in Indonesia. We created an ecosystem consisting of 7 deputies, 12 research organizations, and 85 research centers dispersed throughout Indonesia. Research Organization for Aeronautics and Space, Research Organization for Nuclear Energy, Research Organization for Energy and Manufacture, Research Organization for Earth Sciences and Maritime, Research Organization for Life Sciences and Environment, Research Organization for Electronics and Informatics, Research Organization for Social Sciences and Humanities, Research Organization for Archaeology, Language, and Literature, Research Organization for Health, Research Organization for Nanotechnology and Material, Research Organization for Agriculture and Food, Research Organization for Governance, Economy, and Community Welfare. BRIN catalyzing research and innovation to develop an advanced scientific ecosystem in Indonesia with 2 main targets. BRIN realizes the tremendous potential of the nation's youth in the field of science and technology. Thus, various research and innovation policies are being formulated to develop and cultivate human resources with high competence and aptitude in science and technology. Creating many excellent programs is a form of BRIN's commitment.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Mrs. Anna.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mrs. Yeni.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I because you have a
3
okay.
picture in my profile. It's okay.
Yes, I'm confused. I'm really sorry for this. So, can you see and hear me clearly?
Wait.
This is the main question. Oh, I think.
It's okay. It's sorry. We have already participant join in this Zoom meeting
Okay.
room. So for technical
I see.
meeting, we will invite you to breaking room.
Okay.
My I'm sorry, camera on my laptop is broken. So, huh? Halo. Aku pakai. Halo? Halo. Oh, wait. Satu lagi. Aku lock out mesin. Udah desain?
Is the guiding vision that drives us towards the future. Research is our strength to overcome any limitations. Innovation is the guiding vision that drives us towards the future. We cannot face this alone. We must stand together. rich in culture and biodiversity. We and Indonesia are the necessary combination to realize the grand visions of the future. Like an orchestra, BRIN harmonizes research, development, assessment, application, and also synergies, invention, and innovation in Indonesia. We created an ecosystem consisting of 7 deputies, 12
Suaranya nggak ada yang dimain.
Research and innovation facilities located across 17 regions of Indonesia, dedicated towards the development of science and technology. BRIN continues to improve our contribution to research and innovation towards national development by developing and revitalizing 4 areas of science and technology, or KST. integrated area consisting of research laboratory facilities, testing laboratories, and industrial facilities for both startups and SMEs. Tenant office rooms, co-working space, meeting rooms, gallery rooms, and other supporting facilities. BRIN is here to manifest the future of a golden Indonesia 2045 by consolidating science and technology resources and creating a resource ecosystem and research-based economical foundation. Transforming Indonesia as a global reference in the development and application of science and technology, practices, and the good of humankind. Nature is the source of inspiration. Knowledge is the foundation, and to be put in praxis for the sake of the nation.
Kebetulan saya juga merupakan kuasa untuk belakang DPR di Rutan. Saya lihat ada fenomena yang menarik. Kalau mahasiswa aktivis yang turun selima itu ada. Kami baru
Good afternoon, dear participants. We will wait for several minutes. We will start. Good afternoon, dear participants. Good morning to those who are joining us from Russia. We are delighted to welcome you to our online webinar on artificial intelligence in agriculture. Let me introduce myself. My name is Anastasia Yefremova. I'm a head of Southeast Asia Division at Innopolis University, and today I'm honored to be a moderator for this webinar. I would like to say that we are grateful for the opportunity to collaborate with the National Research and Innovation Agency BRIN in organizing this webinar. Artificial intelligence, as we all know, is a crucial topic in many countries, including Russia and Indonesia. And in today's webinar, we decided to focus on AI implementation in the agriculture field. We hope that this webinar will be valuable for everyone interested in this topic. And before we start, I would like to draw your attention that all the participants can send their questions to the chat box, and then after each speaker's presentation, we will have a short Q&A session. So during this session, I will read out all the questions. So that's it for the introduction, and I'm honored to invite our first speaker, Mr. Mulyadi Sinun Harjono, the Director of Utilization of Research and Innovation by Industry from BRIN, to make his welcome remarks. Please, Mr. Mulyadi Sinun Harjono, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Anna. Thank you very much, Anna. This
Mr. Mulyadi, I'm sorry, you're muted now.
okay.
And now
Okay,
everybody,
I'm sorry.
please continue.
Thank you very much, Anna. The webinar is part of our MOU, the follow-up of our MOU between BRIN and Innopolis University. This is the University of the Russian Federation concerning the research and innovation cooperation, which is signed in April 2024. The topics what we want to discuss is about artificial intelligence in agriculture implementation and cases. We will help by our expert from BRIN and also from Innopolis University. There are 4 speakers what we want to discuss in this case. It is important for us to introduce the development of AI technology usage in agriculture. What is the main stage of the status of our research in BRIN or Innopolis University? Based on this communication, we can start to make some new progress in research, what we can do together, and we can use it in our implementation stage later in Indonesia or also in Russia concerning the artificial intelligence in agriculture. That can be in field of paddies, maybe in corn or in others, in other aspect where we can do together. Thank you very much for your time, Anna. Thank you very much for the speakers and all the participants in this webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mulyadi Sinon Harjono, for your welcome speech and for the participation in our webinar. We highly appreciate this. And now I would like to introduce our next speaker, Mr. Anto Satrio Nugroho, the head of Research Center for Artificial Intelligence and Cybersecurity at BRIN, who will briefly introduce us to artificial intelligence research at BRIN. Mr. Anto Satrio Nugroho, please, you can start.
Okay. Thank you, Anna. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Anto Satrio Nugroho. I'm from Research Center for AI and Cybersecurity BRINs. Let me show you some slides. Share. Can you see my slides?
Yes, we can see it, please.
Yeah, okay. My name is Anto Satrio Nugroho, and we are in Research Center for AI and Cybersecurity BRINs. We have around 100 persons belonging to 3 research groups. The first is cybersecurity. Around 60% of the persons are belonging to cybersecurity, machine learning, and also computer vision and image processing. As you know, that artificial intelligence can be defined easily that it is a system that has the ability to interpret external data correctly, learning from the data, and use the result to achieve certain targets. The scope of AI is very wide, and we have our research centers are focused on 2 of them, machine learning, computer vision, and also one more is related to cybersecurity. The research in computer vision and image processing is the leader is Dr. Dian Andriana. We have and also machine learning. The leader is Dr. Hilman Pardede, and cybersecurity is Dr. Muhammad Arif. The research topics in computer vision and image processing, for example, is depression analysis, satellite data analysis, personal identification using biometrics, disease diagnosis, alphanumerical detections, object detection, and identifications. In machine learning, we did several research topics. For example, prediction of driver conditions, microelectric vehicles, autonomous, and also harmful algal blooms predictions, quantum machine learning for cancer detections and with biomarker data, and also deep learning using graph neural network for drug target affinity predictions. Cybersecurity, we also conducted some research topics, cryptography, steganography, watermarkings, machine learning for intrusion detections, and also blockchains, which is applied to several cases. We have collaboration with several parts. For example, ASEAN University in Taiwan related to the research in drug discovery, and also cancer biomarker prediction using quantum machine learnings, and also Shenzhen Institute of Advanced Technology, China's Academy of Sciences, University of Twente, Radboud University, and Vrije University in Amsterdam, and also Murata Manufacturing. And we also have a collaboration with some institution in Indonesia. The research activities in 2024, part of them can be seen from the slides. The first is computer vision in image processing. For example, we are conducting research on analysis of facial expressions for happiness level monitorings. And also, the second is a collaboration with University of Twente, Wereld Museum Leiden, and Rijksmuseum Netherlands. The topics is digitizing Indonesian sculptures from the Hindu-Buddha periods. The second research activities the second research group is machine learning. For example, data augmentations in cancer image classification problems, quantum variable autoencoder for cancer image compression and classification, and also the last topics from machine learning will be presented by Hilman Pardede today. The research topics in cybersecurity is a collaboration with Bandung Institute of Technology. Topics is center. We are making the Center for Research Collaborations of AI and Cybersecurity on SmartX. The topics collaborated with Shenzhen Institute of Advanced Technology, China's Academy of Sciences, is focused on the drug discovery of natural products. We also have some collaboration with Ministry of Defense, Indonesian National Armed Force, Indonesian Defense University. We hope that we will be the result of the collaborations is a success for the future. Thank you, Anna. I hope it will give you some information about our research center. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. I think this will help our participants to understand how big is BRIN. And now we would like to go directly to the next speaker, Mr. Hilman Ferdinandus Pardede, the head of Machine Learning Research Group at Research Center for Artificial Intelligence and Cybersecurity in BRIN. And the topic of his presentation is Deep Learning Implementation in Agriculture. Mr. Hilman Ferdinandus Pardede, please, you can start your presentation.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Anastasia Aranova. Thank you very much for the opportunity for me to present some of our research activities regarding deep learning implementations in agriculture. Allow me to share screen. Okay, good afternoon in Indonesia and good morning, I think, in Innopolis, Russia. For today's talk, I will divide this presentation into two parts. First, I would like to briefly talk about implementation of AI in agriculture, regarding their implementation, some trend, and the challenges that may have been faced by applying AI in agriculture. And the second one, I would like to share some of our research activities regarding implementation in agriculture in Indonesia. Especially, I will talk about how we deal with some research challenges that we have to deal with when we apply deep learning, especially in Indonesia. In Indonesia itself, agriculture sector is quite important sector. Because around 29.8% workforce of Indonesian actually involved in agriculture. In numbers, it actually quite similar with the population of Canada. If we see the gross domestic product in 2023, agriculture sectors also contribute around 12% of GDP of Indonesia. But we see that the increase in the land or in the agricultural land in Indonesia actually much slower than the number of populations increase, the increase of number of populations. In fact, in the recent years, actually, the land, the agriculture land actually decreasing in Indonesia. Therefore, the strategy of applying information technology such as artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, big data may be important to achieve food security with much more limited agricultural land. And this is actually quite become a trend in the world, because we can see that if we see the number of Scopus Index publications, when we enter the query of machine learning or deep learning and agriculture, we can see the rapid increase of studies of using especially machine learning and deep learning, which is, we can say that the dominant technology for AI currently in agriculture. And if we see more thoroughly about those publications, we can see that agriculture, all AI is implemented in almost aspect of agriculture, from pre-harvesting like seed selection, plant protection, and in the harvesting process, in the automation of harvesting process, and also in the post-harvesting process. So we can see that artificial intelligence can be implemented in almost all aspects of agriculture process. However, there are some challenges that when we talk about AI implementations in agriculture in Indonesia. First, we can say that Indonesia still lack of AI talents because as we can see, actually in Indonesia, there are the needs of 1.9 employees regarding in the area of information and communication technology. However, only 1.3% of them actually qualified for the job requirement in the ICT industry. The second one is, this is based on our experience, is the lack of technical expert among farmers, because when we have to develop the data set for agriculture, they have to be annotated by expert. And because of the limitation of the expert available, it takes more time to annotate the data. And therefore, this becomes a hindrance when we want to produce quality annotated data in agriculture. The second factor is actually the unfamiliarity of many farmers in Indonesia with AI technologies. This is understandable because around 70% of Indonesian farmers actually living below poverty lines. Therefore, they have limited access to internet. They have limited knowledge to use smartphone. Therefore, they have limited knowledge in regard of accessing or using high-tech technology, including, of course, artificial intelligence. The third one is regarding the economic barrier, because we talk about applying deep learning or sophisticated AI methods. These methods require a high computational power. And as we can see in this report, that Indonesia actually is still behind countries like Singapore, Malaysia, and Thailand in regard of the Cloud Readiness Index in 2020. And if we see the number of data centers in Indonesia, actually much smaller in 2023 compared to Singapore, which is much smaller country. Therefore, these conditions also become a hindrance when we talk about AI implementation in Indonesia. The fourth factor is about the social concern, because agriculture in Indonesia is a labor-intensive sector, because it takes, as you can see, that there are around almost 30% of employees actually work in the agriculture, even though the GDP contribution only 12%. Therefore, we can say that agriculture is a labor-intensive field, and there's a fear that using AI actually may cut labors in agriculture, and then, of course, it may cause some problems in labor. In Indonesia itself, there's what we call Indonesian National Strategy in AI. It comprises of 4 focus areas, and then there are 5 priorities fields. Interestingly, actually, Indonesian government sees AI development in agriculture is one of priority field because it is also included in the priorities field in our national strategy. And the second one, I would like to talk about a little bit of our research regarding AI implementation in agriculture. AI itself is a very broad area. However, we can say currently that the dominant solutions for AI technologies that maybe many of us already use or implemented is based on machine learning. And one method in machine learning we call what we know as deep learning. Actually, one major driver why there are so many, or why the AI term become booming nowadays. Deep learning itself is actually based on artificial neural network with much higher number of hidden layer. This is, of course, to increase the capacity of neural network, so it can approximate all types of nonlinearity. With the number of hidden layer and the node, we can expect that our model can learn or can model nonlinearity, and this is become suitable for many complex data such as images, audio, video, text, and also sequential data. Therefore, deep learning become, in many cases, become state of the art in these types of data. However, of course, because of this large number of parameter, large number of hidden layer, it requires large computations and also require a large number of data to train them. Interestingly, also, we now apply deep learning almost in everything. Originally, when we talk about artificial neural network, we talk about implementing them in supervised manner. So therefore, we have data with annotation, and then we build the model to have a prediction model, so we can predict the label or the annotation of the future data. This is, for example, is for object classification, document classification, and so on. However, currently, actually, there are the more increasing in trends of using deep learning for unsupervised learning. So we want to use deep learning to discover the patterns of unlabeled data. And many of implementation of unsupervised learning, for example, for data enhancement using autoencoder, generative adversarial network to handle missing data or data augmentation, or using autoencoder for feature learning or feature or representation learning. Because in many applications, we talk about using image data, convolutional neural network become the dominant architectures that we have been implemented so far. Because deep convolutional neural network is good in modeling spatial data as in the image data. And deep convolutional neural network actually one of the architectures that are very popular nowadays, and there are new architectures proposed in the study. We can see that from the original convolutional neural network in 1989 to there's AlexNet, GoogleNet, DenseNet, PressNet, and so on. And even now we have like what we call vision transformer. So CNN or convolutional neural network is become a one of dominant architecture in deep learning. So far, in our research group, we have implemented deep learning in several applications. Some of them are for plant disease detection, for tea clones identification, strawberry grading classification, and to detect the ripeness level of mangosteen. And for that purpose, we have collected several data sets in our study. First, we have around 28,000 annotated data of tea clone images. It comprises of 11 classes of tea clones. We call it, because it is developed in Gambung, it's Gambung 1 until Gambung 11. We also have collected around 20,000 TDCs images comprised of 5 and also we have also collected around 20,000 mangosteen images comprised of, I think, 7 or 8 ripeness level. And we have applied several very, I think, well-established CNN models such as GoogleNet, Exception, ResNet, and so on in those various implementations, such as for tea disease detection, for tomato disease detection, and for tea clones identifications, for instance. However, in doing this research, we have faced several challenges. One is about the data limitation. Because of our limited fundings, we only collect, we can say that's quite limited compared to usual number of data for training deep learning. That's our first problem. The second one is regarding the size of the model, because nowadays we talk about CNN. In the beginning, maybe we talk about CNN with maybe around millions of parameters. However, currently we have to deal with CNN. If we want to implement the latest CNN models, we talk about CNN with billions of parameters. So there are increasing of a number of parameters that need to be trained. This, of course, require more computational resource. And the other problem is about the internet availability. Many farming area in Indonesia, many plantation in Indonesia actually have no internet access. Therefore, this model cannot be actually implemented directly, because for this model to be used, usually this model are stored in the cloud, and then we have to have access to the cloud to access the model. However, with no internet availability, it is preferred that this model to be small in size, so we can apply them offline without internet access. So that's also the challenge, how to develop a model that is small in size, but of course also accurate. The third one is regarding robustness issues. Mostly when we collect the data, we acquire the data in the certain conditions. For example, we put them in the white background, and then we take the pictures in the very controlled environment. However, of course, this is not practicable in the real environment, because mostly users would like to use them directly to the plants, right? So we have to be able to deal with these issues. The second one, of course, there's also maybe some non-ideal data acquiring. Maybe when they take the pictures, it is blurred or it is rotated and so on. So these types of problems raise robustness issues in our deep learning models. We have developed several strategies in our study how to deal with these types of problems. The simplest one, of course, by applying transfer learning and fine-tuning to our problem. It is a very common strategy in computer vision, where we transfer the model that is trained with large data, such as ImageNet, and then use that model as initialization model for our problem. And we can see that while it is depend on, of course, the distance between the domain problem, the original domain problem to the target domain problem, we have to apply fine-tuning to the model. And we can see that here that not all of the model are effective when we use transfer learning only. We need to fine-tune this model so we can get a better result. To deal with the limit, we also applying generative adversarial network to deal with the data limitations. generative adversarial network itself is a recent architecture in deep learning that has the ability to generate fake data. But here we use those ability to generate additional training data and use those additional data in the training process. And here we can see that adding new data generated by GAN actually slightly improve the performance of our model. Some sample of the resulting images that's produced with GAN, it can be seen in this slide. Of course, in the future, we would like to see how because GAN is actually very active research area. There are many models has been introduced in these past years. Therefore, I think when we apply those more recent architectures, better result I think is expected from this model. Then to reduce the size of our deep learning models, we propose what we call a compact network. Basically, it is a modification of ResNet by adding skip connections. This idea, of course, to produce a wider network instead of deeper network. By doing so, we expect that we don't have to use the same number of hidden layer as in the studies. So we expect by having wider network, we may need only fewer hidden layer. With this model, we actually can produce, I think, much smaller network. As we can see here, we only use the model only have like 9 million parameters compared to other well-established architectures. It is only bigger than a mobile net, but we can see the performance of our proposed method actually quite better than other well-established CNN models. We also see that the standard deviation of the result when we use tenfold cross validations, it is much smaller. It means the performance is more consistent when we use tenfold cross validation. To improve the robustness of our model, we apply several strategies. First is what we call a multi-condition training. Actually, this is inspired from speech recognitions. The idea is to add artificially distorted data to the training data. So in this case, we artificially distort our data to the conditions that our target. In this case, maybe when we have blurred images or rotated images. So here we only use one condition of blurring conditions. We use median blur and one condition of rotation for 40 degrees rotations, and use that in the training data. Our study shows that applying this strategy actually can improve the robustness of our model compared to the original without any distortion added to the training data. We also propose a strategy for feature learning using autoencoder because we know that deep convolutional neural network has ability to learn good features automatically, and therefore by doing so we can skip the process of designing the features, or what we call it handcrafted features. However, mostly this handcrafted, the feature learning from the CNN process usually is not robust. So here we apply a variational convolutional autoencoder as feature learning, and we evaluate them for T-clones recognitions. So here the strategy, so we develop a feature learning mostly based on autoencoder or generative adversarial network, and then train them in unsupervised manner. And the the produced model is used as a feature extraction process, and then use that for the classification. We can see here when we apply variational autoencoder, while maybe it is not better compared to for instance, using VGGNet in the clean conditions. However, we can see that when in the non-ideal conditions, like blurring conditions, it produces more consistent result compared to VGGNet. The other architectures that we tried as feature learning is generative adversarial network. Generative adversarial network, as I previously mentioned, is architecture that actually aim to produce fake data, such as deepfake. However, we also can modify this to become a feature learning model. But the problem of applying generative adversarial network as feature learning is because the generator never see actual data. The learning trajectories of GAN, of generator of GAN, actually more unpredictable. So here, to make it more predictable, we combine the GAN with some encoder layer, so the training trajectories of GAN become more targeted. So here's the block diagram of our proposed method. So basically, we train encoder to learn about the latent distribution of the data, and then use that as initialization for random variable that fed into generator. We expect that the sample produced by the generator, when they are trained in adversarial manner with the discriminator, will produce features that I think that we expect to be better. So here we test or we evaluate our proposed method with other features, such as the original features using only color features. We use normal GAN or variational autoencoder, and also BGAN is one architecture that are used commonly as feature learning for GAN. We can see that our proposed method for planned disease detection produce a better result. We also here propose what we call nested training to train our architecture, because by doing so, we expect them to, when the learning trajectories of GAN kind of way out of the correct way, we try to correct them by having like nested training process. The last one is we try to modify the surrogate loss function of a neural network. In this case, is in a perceptron with what is called SALIS or non-extensive statistics. This statistic actually introduced by Constantinio Salis in 1998. The idea is to use a generalization function such as Q logarithmic and Q exponential function, and because this function is non-additive or non-extensive, the non-extensive properties is used to explain the correlation that may exist between subsystems that are not fully linear or not fully chaotic. So what it is called a complex system. The idea is to introduce the non-additivity, and hence it may explain some complex data. So there is an additional parameter called Q parameter in this framework, and this parameter usually used to explain some degree of correlation between the subsystem, and it has been applied in many systems actually, in physics, biology, economy, and finance. So in this case, we use Q exponential function to generalize sigmoid loss function, because sigmoid loss function, what we call a surrogate for 0-1 loss in a perceptron or in a logistic regression. And then by doing so, we can tune this function to be closer or to be linear than 0-1 loss function by determining different values for Q. So here we generalize those surrogate laws become using Q exponential functions. And if we derive these functions in the gradient descent based method, we can see that the gradient descent solution, if we use this function, actually naturally introduce this beta factor. And this beta factor may have some relation to the learning rate that we are usually used when we apply gradient descent, right? However, normally, to determine this alpha is actually more empirically and heuristically. There is no way to determine them rightly from the data. But here we try to relate this parameter with lipstick constants, so we can have a way to automatically determine these Q values from the data. And the result shows that we test those loss functions to several baseline benchmarking data such as MNIST, CFAR, and CFAR 100. But we also test them to two types of disease detection, plant village and T-disease detection. And we found that we can get, or we can have an adaptive way for the learning rate, and we can see that the performance is quite comparable compared to when we use them empirically. But in more benchmarking database, actually we can achieve a better result. To conclude my presentation, so basically we have implemented deep learning methods in agriculture. However, there are some issues remaining regarding the data limitations, regarding the need to have lightweight models, and regarding the robustness issues. And in our past studies and even current studies, we have employed several strategies to overcome these problems, such as using unsupervised deep learning, such as autoencoder and GAN, use transfer learning and fine-tuning, using multi-condition training, and also non-extensive statistics in machine learning. I think that is all for my presentation. Thank you very much for your kind attention. I give the floor to Miss Anastasia.
Mr. Hillman, thank you very much for your great presentation, so detailed, so informative. And now we have a Q&A session. We have several questions in our chat. I will read them and please answer one by one. The first question is, how is the training done in machine learning modeling in the form of formulas, such as for the fertilization doses and crop water needs? Maybe I need to repeat it. Yes, because how is the training done in machine learning modeling in the form of formulas? For example, for the formulation of fertilization doses and crop water needs.
Usually in training, the training process using deep learning, what we call is using gradient descent. However, because of the large size of the model, the high number of parameters, we apply several strategies to reduce the computational resources. One most commonly used method to train the model is using stochastic gradient descent. So we only use a subset of our data set, the subset of training data to update the model. So basically, the idea of using gradient descent is we initialize because we try to find the parameter, the weights of the neural network, which is to minimize our loss function. For instance, we use a mean square error loss function. And then, of course, because there's no analytic solution for this, we have to use a numerical approach. So basically, we initialize the random weight, and then we update this weight accordingly with gradient descent solutions. So basically, it finds the the derivative of our loss functions and then using that to update the weights of the neural network so that we found the loss to be minimal. That's the basic idea. For instance, if we in this case I cannot say in detail because we haven't done much research regarding the crop water needs and fertilization, for instance. Maybe if we would like to have deep learning models, maybe to model what time is a good, maybe a good period to do fertilization or something like that. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm mistaken about the questions. So we have, of course, we have to have the data first regarding the fertilization process or the water management process, and then use that data as a training, so that in the future we can use those models to actually do the predictions. I think maybe, if I'm not mistaken. Regarding the use of, should I just answer from the chat, or how is it, Miss Anastasia?
Yeah, I can read them. So that's it for your
Yeah,
answer,
I think,
right?
yeah.
Thank you very much. And the second question, how is the application of AI for mapping analysis needs derived from remote sensing?
Maybe I think the next speaker will have better answer. But actually, we have one time we have an idea about that, because when in our collaboration with the tea plantations in the Research Center for Tea and Kinkona in Indonesia, the idea, of course, using like drone imagery, we can identify the area of the tea plantation that are ready for harvesting or not, something like that. Because usually it is depicted by the difference of the color of the leaves. So, of course, if we use drone imagery, we may have some segmented area, which area are ready for harvesting, which area are not, something like that. Of course, that's the idea. For instance, using drone imagery for harvesting and for tea. The idea also, but we at that time we write the proposal, but it is rejected, so we didn't do further about that. But maybe I think the next speaker we talk about more about that. The second one is about the palm oil plantations, because normally in the plantations, in the palm oil, there's a disease like what is called ganoderma, and this disease actually often make the trees collapse, but oftentimes it is happen in the middle of the field. But because we have like thousands of hectares of field, it is difficult to identify whether actually that field have been affected by the diseases. So using maybe satellite imagery or drone imagery, I think it is possible also to identify or even counting the number of trees that has been fallen. But of course, in that process, we have to first develop the data set, do the counting manually, and then use that as the training data, so that when we have future imagery from drone or from satellite imagery, it can detect or count it automatically the number of trees or the number of plants that have been affected by certain diseases, maybe something like that. I think that's also a possible implementation of remote sensing in agriculture.
Thank you. Thank you. I think we will answer one more question, and then we will go to the next speaker because we have time limitation. So the third question is, for another case, for example, supervised learning using structured data table from on-farm activities, what algorithm you suggest?
It depends on the complexity of our data. If there are not high complexity in regards of the correlations between, because it's talk about the table, the correlation between attributes of each column of the table, for instance, I would not suggest to do deep learning actually, because in our experience, if we have not high number of data, and the data may not be as complex as image or text, more shallow architecture of machine learning like supervector machine or naive Bayes or SVM is usually quite popular options when we talk about using non-deep learning algorithm. I think that's a good strategy to start when we want to apply some supervised learning in tabular data.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hillman, for your answers. For the next questions, I think I will gather all of them and I will send you these questions after the webinar. I will leave my contact details in the chat so all the participants can contact me directly, and after that I will transfer all the questions to you. So that's it. Thank you very much for your great performance, for your presentation. It was very good, very fantastic, and for your answers. And now we go to the next speaker. And our next speaker is Diana Yenalyeva, Geographic Information System Specialist at Innopolis University. And the topic of your presentation is development and implementation of AI in the agriculture industry. Diana, please, the floor is yours. You can start.
Yeah, hello, everyone. Just 1 minute. I will share the screen. So do you see my screen?
Yes, we can see.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. So hello, everyone, again. My name is Diana Yenalyeva, and my topic for today is development and implementation of artificial intelligence in the agricultural industry. Let's start that. We conducted a land inventory in our company of agricultural fields in some regions of Russia. So actually the main goal was of inventory is to plan and manage land resources. So determine the total area, for example, of agricultural land and so on. Another goal is land resources and assessment and accounting. And it's for example, like determining land value. And also another goal is to control and regulation of land use. So ensuring that sustainable land practices and mitigating potential environmental impacts. So we did it for whole Russia, almost with some regions. So, and we can see the example here. So it's agricultural fields in the Republic of Tatarstan. Inventory of agricultural lands. So this mask that we created for arable fields allowed us to conduct a land inventory. But let me tell you what we actually used to create this mask. So we created a tool of automatic identification of arable land boundaries based on satellite images. We created a machine learning model with an HRNet architecture using object contextual representations trained on, for example, vector layers with information on arable land location. It's like a land fields, like vector layers. Also, vector layers with arable land boundary data. We're defining the boundaries of individual fields, and also trained on a multi-temporal composite image of the NDVI index. But what does multi-temporal NDVI mean? So essentially, it's like a single raster composed of 8 bands, and each band is a single NDVI image for a specific period of time. And this allows us to track vegetation dynamics and assess changes over time. Furthermore, it's important to know that creating a multi-temporal composite image of the NDVI requires preprocessing satellite data. So, for example, it's cloud masking, it's top of atmospheric correction, and thematic processing. And the final model was trained using data labeled namely by experts, so ensuring that we have really high quality training information. Also, they used some processing steps, like for NDVI to recognize it, and it was color, texture, contrast, for example, difference in pixel brightness from satellite images. However, training the model on diverse data from different regions with different labeling quality proved a really challenging task. Over the past year, we have collected and processed a large dataset with labeled fields. And fields in different regions really have different characteristics, so relief, soil type, vegetation, which makes really difficult to train the model on universal data. And in addition, inaccuracies in the data labeling negatively affected the accuracy of the model. And we found that the model is better trained on a small data set, but really well labeled, than on large amount of poorly labeled data. So I think it's the highlights, namely this highlights the crucial role of data labeling for our training data set. Yeah, we are continuously working on improving the quality of data labeling to, of course, enhance model accuracy and expand its application. So our next steps, like enhancing data quality, as I said, expanding regional coverage, improving prediction accuracy, optimizing processing speed, and of course, for later model architecture refinement. The next section of my presentation is basic software product called GeoHub. So here we can store and update the data generated by the model, enabling effectively working with geodata. So it's a cloud platform for working with geodata. Actually, they have two main stages of working with geodata. This is a GeoHub Maps and GeoHub Storage. So the first covers the main stages of working with geodata. So it's like creating interactive maps, working together with other users. They have really, the system have really wide range of tools for styling and customizing and so on. And also we have a GeoHub storage. So here we can import data from various sources and cloud storage, also export of processed data, and so on. Actually, this is a really company's basic software product, and I, as a geoinformatics specialist, really work with this platform. So another company's software product is GeoVision. So this is the product for implementing projects related to artificial intelligence. So here we can do data segmentation, predictions, and so on. And data segmentation is conducted based on materials from satellite images and others imagery. So, but current stage of development of GeoVision is minimal viable product. So we are now working for this project, and we are going to improve this platform. So here we can process of remote sensing data, retrieval and download of satellite images, and there we have cloud-based storage and management. Anastasia, do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah,
That's
but
it.
okay,
Wait.
because
Yeah.
I had a notification. Maybe something was wrong. Okay, yeah, I will continue.
No, I'm sorry. Everything is fine.
Okay, so GeoVision. Also, we have platform subsystems like an GeoHub, and there we have a GeoVision project. So it's like a subsystem for analyzing raster data using pre-trained neural networks. And also GeoVision imagery data. So it's a subsystem for acquiring satellite imagery, and GeoVision storage. So it's like a subsystem for cloud storage and management of geospatial data. So there we can download our, for example, rasters, composites, vector layers, and so on. A bit. Something was wrong again. Yeah. Perfect. Let me show you how to use GeoVision, create a neural network processor, and of course, view the results at the end. Unfortunately, the website is in Russian, but you can use it with the translator, for example, built into your browser. So I think it's not problematic. Wait, here we have. So first we need to create a processor. We create a project, enter the name of project, and click the save. Then our project opens, and we can create an automatic processor. Enter the processor name here, choose, Then we can choose the type of satellite, for example, here, Sentinel-2, and also select the neural network you want to use. So it's our model, So it's our model, for example, arable land. Then we click next and move to the image parameters. And here we can choose year and our area of interest. We upload our area of interest. We can see here and click next and create the neural processor. So it's really not complicated and easy. Then I think it's again the same. Then let's see the result visualization and retrieval of source imagery from the repository. So the processor has completed its work, and we can proceed to viewing the results. So click the download button, and then we need to go to the GeoHub page. So here, GeoVision is more about artificial intelligence and models. We can predict something, and in GeoHub, we can visualize, we can edit, and also we can work with this data, like with vector data and raster data. So here, we can go to GeoHub page, then we select upload the data. So first we download it from the GeoVision. Here we uploaded our vector results. Then we are waiting when it will be completed. And here we have result of our model from our model. So it's a vector layer with prediction. So then we need to return to the GeoVision page to see our composite, multi-temporal composite. So we switch to the GeoVision storage. As I said, it's our subsystem, and find the correct folder and download our composite. Also, again, we have to return to GeoHub page after that when we downloaded it, and see the result in the GeoHub website. So in this way, actually, we can see and work with both the composite result and the vector in one product. So for me, it's very convenient to work with all geodata. It's almost done. So here we see our status. So now it's completed, it's downloaded, uploaded. And here we can see our multi-temporal composite and our vector layer, and our recognition result. Okay, let's go next of my part presentation. Also, we need to, I said about inventory of agricultural land, and now we need to say about monitoring of agricultural objects. So for monitoring agricultural objects, we develop following tools. The first, this is a service for identifying Sosnovsky hogweed distribution zones. And also the second tool, this is a service for analyzing the type and species of crops. Let's talk about service for analyzing the type and species of crops. Actually, we created a tool for the automated classification of types and species of agricultural crops based on namely satellite images. We created a hybrid machine learning model. It's a combination of neural network, random forest, and XGBoost models trained on first preprocessed Sentinel-2 imagery, so including top of atmospheric correction, cloud masking, and so on. Also train on results from the arable land boundary detection model. So it's our result of our fields. Also climatic, geographic, and anthropogenic factors. And also our model trained on agro-scouting data. So it's very important because their information gathered through agricultural scouting. And the surface analyzes the time series data along with additional factors. So it's like we calculated zone-based statistics from the imagery, from the satellite images. So samples from each target crop class, it was like spring wheat, barley, soybean, corn, sunflower, and so on. So it was our target crop class. And also we decided to add additional factors like average annual precipitation, slope, average annual wind speed, distance to the nearest settlement, slope angle, total crop water, and so on. So to understand the whole information about the crop for this moment, for example, for moment that we download satellite image. So and that's why it's time series data, because we analyzing, for example, during 5 months, and also we taking into account that we have additional factors. So the model at the end demonstrates the capability to detect and analyze changes in vegetation over time, and it's really important. And it's resulting in more precise identification of crop types and species. And let's move to another. Sorry, I need to say that we are continuously also working on improving the model for our future, and our next steps will be expanding the reference dataset as with the arable model, also optimizing model parameters and accelerating processing speed and so on. So I think there will be a lot of work also for improving to enhance our model accuracy. And let's talk about service for identifying Sosnovsky hogweed distribution zones. So hogweed, as you know, is a genus of herbs that includes many invasive species, such as giant hogweed or Sosnovsky hogweed. And it's really a problem in Russia, and I think in Europe, and maybe in Indonesia. So because this invasive species is known for its high level of phototoxic compounds. So any contact with the plant can cause severe skin burns. So it's really severe problems. Then we decided we created a tool for automatic segmentation of Sosnovsky hogweed populations using computer vision technologies. But what are the purposes of this tool? So the first, determining the distribution zones. Also, it's monitoring the spread of hogweed over time to evaluate the effectiveness of control measures. Also, it's analyzing the effectiveness of control measures and data on this situation. Also, it's supporting research activities. For example, we can provide data on hogweed distribution zones for researchers studying the plant, and then maybe they develop some control methods according to our results. And we used a hybrid machine learning model combining neural networks as the second our service identification of types of crops, and random forest and XGBoost models trained on also preprocessed Sentinel-2 optical imagery, also with top of atmospheric correction and cloud masking. Also, it's trained on agro-scouting data, so data collected during field research, providing reference information on the target areas, and also expert-derived reference data. So reference data on Sosnovsky hogweed locations derived from expert interpretation of polygons layers from satellite imagery. So it's really a combination of reference data. We can see here a result, for example, from our model. And this technology improves really the efficiency and speed of detecting Sosnovsky hogweed, and thereby it's enabling more timely and targeted implementation of measures to control them. And it's, I think, the crucial fact. And let's move to my next part of my presentation. So actually, in order to enhance the decision-making in agriculture using, namely, artificial intelligence, it's really important to gather together and analyze data. And that's why we created the software product called Teleagronom. So it's also like a microservice platform for agricultural fields, objects, and sector. So Teleagronom is a set of microservices for developing a cultivation strategy for agricultural products with specified parameters. So it's plant condition monitoring, the analysis of multi-year soil and vegetation data, as well as its assessment of current agri-meteorological conditions, and so on. Also, it's all about weather data analysis, so forecast optimal planting and harvesting times. Also, parameters like laboratory research, so optimizing plant nutrition, reducing the use of chemical protection agents, and so on. And also it's all about fertilizer selection, so selecting and developing the optimal fertilizer strategy. Additionally, this tool can be used to analyze fields using namely satellite imagery and terrain cartograms. So it can calculate, for example, long-term average vegetation index, temperature indicators, as we see here, and productivity zones, so with artificial intelligence. Also, we can assess trends in crop development and yield. So the modules allowed for comparative analysis of fields with the same crop to evaluate, for example, productivity. Unfortunately, due to limited time, I cannot cover all the tools that this service has. So my conclusion for all my presentation that artificial intelligence technologies are already having a really significant impact on agricultural sector. And it's essential to build a comprehensive system for controlling and monitoring factors affecting agricultural objects and fields. So then, which will enable the planning and programming, namely our desired outcomes. So thank you for your attention. And if you have any questions, I would be really happy to answer for them. Thank you.
Thank you, Diana. Maybe any participants have questions that they can directly ask to the speaker. We can wait because there are no any questions. I see questions. So the first question is, can GeoVision be applied, for example, in the geographical indication system, which is a patent for agricultural. I'm sorry. Maybe you can read it yourself because
maybe then
it's quite a long question.
Okay, wait, maybe I will stop my presentation if it's not a problem.
I see there are two questions, so that's why it's so long. So can GeoVision be applied, for example, in the geographical indication system, which is a patent for agricultural commodities or other products based on regional characteristics? And can it be integrated with the product traceability?
Yeah, actually, I think GeoVision can be applied in the geographical indication system because we are going to improve our models there, also maybe create new models, and GeoVision also have not like arable land models, as I said, service for identifying hogweed and service for identifying, crops, so types of crops, but also we have different models like deforestation, flood, and so on. So there are really a lot of models, and we can, of course, integrate it in their geographical indication system. And as for the can it be integrated with product traceability? Actually, I think I can't answer for this question right now, but maybe yeah, we can stay in contact, for example, and I can answer for this question a little bit later.
Yes, I already delivered my contact details to the chat box, so you can contact me directly and we will prepare the answer for a question. And the second, thank you, Diana, for the first question. And the second question is, for the use of machine learning in plant distribution zones and teleagronome, how does the accuracy compare with the maximum entropy modeling?
Yeah, there are a lot of accuracy. So accuracy metrics, for example, we're trying to use different accuracy metrics if we are talking about this. Wait, maybe I didn't get the question. To go, how does the accuracy compare with maximum? Yeah, actually, what about distribution zones and teleagronome? The accuracy also we can do with different methodics. So, and that's why I think as I'm not like data scientist specialist, I'm namely geoinformatics specialist, I can say that we can enhance our like accuracy and so on, model accuracy with different metrics, like for arable land and so on, with GeoVision, it's metrics like a Fadin score, confusion matrix, yeah, recall, and so on. But as for teleagronome, it's more basic, like for data scientist sphere, and that's why, yeah, I need to ask as well from data science specialist.
Thank you. Maybe I will read out the last question, and the second question, I think we can also reply later after the webinar. The last question is, what data is required to identify crops using satellite imagery? And is color still used to distinguish between different types of crops?
Yeah, exactly. Color is still used to distinguish between different types of crops. So as I said, we have two training data that we derived, for example, from satellite images with our experts that identify these crops from, for example, multi-temporal composite, and also from data from agro scouting, as I said as well, that we have our agro scouting specialized that gave us the data about where is crop, for example, on fields exactly. So that's why we use, of course, satellite images, agro scouting data, and data identified from the multi-composite images. That's why color it's really useful sign because, for example, from different types of crops we have different color in the composite, because the composite, if you know, it's like NDVI index, and we have different values from -1 to 1, and that's why we have different colors, as every crop have different values for this field.
Thank you very much, Diana, for your presentation and for the answers for the questions. And the rest questions we will answer later. Please contact me and I will transfer all the questions to Diana. Thank you.
Thank you.
And our next speaker today is Mr. Danan Surya Chandra, the head of Geodata Research Group at Research Center for Geoinformatics BRIN. And he will tell us about AI for rice field parcels detection using very high-resolution satellite imagery. Please, Mr. Danan Surya Chandra, the floor is yours. You can start.
Thank you, Anastasia. Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. I'm going to share my presentation. Okay, you can see my presentation?
Not yet.
Not
but
yet?
It will appear in a minute. Yes, we can see it.
Okay,
can start.
thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Firstly, it's my honor to be here to present my research about our research about AI. Let me introduce myself. I'm Danang Surya Chandra, researcher from Research Center for Geoinformatics, Research Organization for Electronics and Informatics, National Research and Innovation Agency of Indonesia, BRIN. I'm going to present AI for rice field parcel detection using very high resolution satellite imagery. In my presentation, I have three main points to be delivered here. First, I'm going to talk about overview of AI. Second, I'm going to talk about the utilization of remote sensing technology using AI. I will give some examples of our works. And last, I'm going to talk about AI for rice field parcel detection using very high resolution satellite imagery. And this is the overview of artificial intelligence, but I think some speakers have mentioned about it. The beginning of AI development was in 1950, so it was a long time ago. AI evolves into machine learning, and it was beginning in 1980, and in 2010 for deep learning. We can see that deep learning is subset of machine learning, and machine learning is a subset of AI. This is a visual representation of the branches of AI. So we can see that machine learning is subset of AI and deep learning is subset of AI as well. In this presentation, we will focus on this one, the deep learning. We can see in a visual representation of the branches of machine learning that deep learning is, the deep learning is subset of machine learning. This is the AI. First, we talk about AI. What is AI? This simple explanation is that machine learning, that AI is a machine that can think or act like a human. So let's say a computer, the computer that has AI model can solve the problem by thinking or acting like a human. On the other hand, machine learning, one of the subset of AI, can solve the problem by using data examples and standard algorithm. So if we use machine learning, we must have data for training data set. So the machine can learn the information from the training data set. Besides that, we must have algorithm for this machine learning. And this is for deep learning. Deep learning is subset of machine learning and subset of artificial intelligence. Deep learning is uses unstructured data for its training data set. The unstructured data, for example, text, voice, and etc. This is the difference between deep learning and regular machine learning. In here, we can see the difference between machine learning and deep learning. Actually, deep learning is a subset of machine learning. This is the difference of deep learning and regular machine learning. Machine learning can train on smaller data sets, so it's advantages of machine learning. But deep learning requires a large amount of the data. And then the machine learning requires more human intervention to
Mr.
correct and
Danang,
learn.
I'm sorry to
Yes.
interrupt you, but we can't see your presentation now.
Oh, you cannot see? Okay.
We can see it clearly.
Oh,
You can see
so
me, right?
you can see my presentation?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay,
Okay.
All is
okay.
okay.
Sorry, maybe something wrong with my Zoom. I'm
Okay,
sorry. I'm
can
sorry
I
to interrupt
continue?
here. Yes, yes, please.
Okay. So machine learning requires more human intervention to correct and learn. So it's lack of machine learning, but deep learning, this is the main advantages of the deep learning. The deep learning learns on its own from environmental and past mistakes. So deep learning can repair and fix its model by itself. The advantage of the machine learning has shortened training and but lower accuracy. Deep learning has longer training but has higher accuracy. So machine learning simple linear correlation, but deep learning can solve non-linear but complex correlations. Machine learning only need CPU, but deep learning needs a special GPU. Next, for the utilization of remote sensing technology using artificial intelligence. We have done several cases of remote sensing things using deep learning, especially for object detection. We use analysis ready data from middle resolution and high or very high resolution satellite imagery to detect like cloud detection, tree detection, and counting, and then we can detect open area as well and rice field parcel detection as well. This figure shows that cloud masking from original data from high resolution satellite imagery that is less accurate. You can see here. So we need to develop a cloud masking method by ourselves. And this is our development. We use CNN to detect cloud for high and or very high resolution satellite imagery. And this is the flow chart. From Pleiades and Spot 6-7 images, high and very high satellite resolution satellite images, we do contrast enhancement, and we also do segmentation. We use modified k-means to cluster the data, and then we do downscaling. In this part, we use deep learning. We prepare data set, and we make a training CNN model, and the result is trained model. We do downscaling using average algorithm of the data, and we do sliding windows, and we do feature extraction and classification using CNN, and we combine the result of from the modified k-means and from the CNN to classify cloud and non-cloud class. And this is the result. We can see that our proposed method can detect cloud, thin cloud, and thick cloud accurately. This one as well. And the red is the cloud. We also detect multi-class cloud forward view 3. Multi-class cloud means thick clouds, thin clouds, and then a cloud shadow and non-cloud. We use unit in this case. This is the results. This is true label on the reference, and this is the prediction. This is also the true label, and this is the prediction. We can see that our proposed method can detect multi-class cloud accurately. And next is deep learning for detecting open area. We use a unit in this case for Landsat 8 data. This is the results. We can see that the result is accurately as well. And another case, we detect and counting the tree. This is oil palm tree. We use CNN, mobile CNN. We can, this is the flowchart from layout satellite image, very high resolution satellite images. We do contrast enhancement, and we also do cropping for data set. The data set size, the size of data set is 25 by 25 pixels, and we got the training CNN. After that, we do testing process. In testing process, we also do contrast enhancement for the image. We use Gaussian smoothing, and we also use local maxima for region of the interest. And we train the data, and we got the results. You can see this is the results, and this is the evaluation of the results. We can see that the accuracy is quite high. And the next is AI for rice field parcel detection using very high resolution satellite imagery. We also use UNet in this case. So mostly we use UNet for our research. So let's talk about UNet more deeply. UNet is a conventional neural network, or CNN, architecture for semantic segmentation tasks. So it's the name of the unit from the U-shape architecture, which is consists of encoder, and then bridge, and decoder. For encoder aims to decrease spatial dimension of the image while also capturing relevant information about the image. The encoder is responsible for capturing high-level features and reducing the spatial dimension of the input image. And then it consists of repeated blocks of conventional layer, followed by max pooling. We use max pooling layer, effectively downsampling the input. The encoder network acts as the feature extraction and learns an abstract representation of the input image through sequence of the encoder blocks. Each encoder blocks consists of two 3x3 convolutional where each convolution followed by ReLU. ReLU is nonlinear equation. So next, followed by 2x2 max pooling, where a spatial dimension, height, and width of the feature maps are reduced by half. So this reduces the computational cost by decreasing the number of trainable parameter. And then the bridge, or we can call it bottleneck. The bridge or bottleneck layer is at the center of the unit and captures the most critical features while maintaining spatial information. The bridge connects the encoder and decoder network and completes the flow of information. It consists of two 3x3 convolutional, where each convolutional is followed by a ReLU activation function. And the last, for decoder, the decoder is responsible for upsampling the low resolution feature maps to match the original input size. So it consists of repeat blocks of transpose convolutional or upsampling followed by concatenation with corresponding feature maps from the contracting path. The output of the last decoder process through this is one by one convolutional with sigmoid activation. The sigmoid activation function gives the segmentation mask representing the pixels wise classification. And for this case, we use Pledge image in Markuluwe village. This is the boundary of Markuluwe village, and this is the results. We can see more clearly in these figures. This is the results. This is the image of Pleiades, and this is the results. This is the image of Pleiades, and this is the results. This is the accuracy of the results. We can see that the accuracy is quite good. This is for the error, omission error and commission error. So after we got the result, we can use the result to calculate the area as well. This one as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Danan, for your presentation. We have only one question for you today. So what is the goal of cloud detection? It's really short.
Oh, okay. Yes. As I mentioned before, that cloud detection, especially for high or very high resolution satellite imagery, actually the original image has cloud masking, but it's not quite accurate. So we have to develop the method by ourselves. The result of our cloud detection for high or very high resolution satellite imagery use for mosaic. We produce cloud-free mosaic for whole entire of Indonesia for spot 6-7 images and flat images as well. The data, the mosaic data, the cloud-free mosaic data have been used for ministry or other institution in Indonesia.
Thank you. Thank you for your reply. And the next question is, can you explain how you get the data set for cloud segmentation, especially the ground truth, and the data set for detection of rice field parcels?
Okay, for the data set and for the ground. For the data set, we do digitation, manual digitation, and then after that we make some frames for and frame size is like 512 by 512 for the training data set, and for the ground truth data we use our digitation data for the reference image. So after we got the results, we compare the results data with the our digitation data. So the digitation data will be used for ground truth data. We use these steps for our proposed method for rice field parcel detection and for cloud detection as well.
Okay, thank you. That's it for your answer, right?
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your answers and for your presentation. And I think it's time to go to our last speaker, Ramil Kuleyev, the director of the Institute of AI at Innopolis University. And Ramil will tell us about the main activities of the Institute of AI at Innopolis University. Ramil, please.
Yes, hi colleagues, nice to meet you all here. Thank you for invitation. It's really important for us to collaborate with you, with BRIN, and with our scientific researchers as our potential collaborators. So let me share my screen. Can you see it? Can you see my presentation?
Yes, we can see your presentation.
Yeah, okay. So let me start from a few words about our Innopolis University. So Innopolis University is young university. It's one of the youngest universities in Russia, but it's already well known in IT domain. So we have more than 1,000 students, and we have educational programs in 3 directions. So bachelor's degrees, master's degree, and postgraduate study. And our main focus is IT. So it's software development, management, software engineering, robotics and computer vision, data analysis and AI, computer security and networks, and technological entrepreneurship. And also international collaboration is also important part of our work. And by the way, all education in our university is in English language because it allows to be to better understand state-of-the-art solutions and the approach in IT technologies, including AI. We have 48 academic partners from 25 countries, universities, leaders operating, and CERN. And more than half of our professors are also had experience of working in academia or industry in foreign countries. But our university is not only about education and academic research. So in our structure, some of our departments are focused on this domain, and some of them are mainly focused on applications and the development of solutions for our industrial partners and customers. So there are several technological centers that are responsible for that part. These technological centers include a robotics center, oil and gas, software engineering, cybersecurity, and others. And the Institute of AI is one of such technological centers. And so our goal is to develop pipeline. When we have scientific results, we get scientific results, then we develop new technologies based on these results. Then we develop industrial solutions, and based on these industrial solutions, we have implementations of them on different companies. First of all, if we are talking about Russia, we work with large companies. It's like Sibur, like Gazprom. So it's the largest oil and gas company. We also have customers from another countries, from UAE, from China, from Korea, from France, USA, and others. And we collaborate, and also, by the way, some of them are part of our university, our employees, with the best and probably well-known scientists in specific areas, like Kostya Novoselov. He is Nobel Prize winner in physics, and we do research with him in AI in materials design domain. So here we use machine learning to estimate and to prognose some physical properties of two-dimensional and multi-dimensional materials with defects. So probably you know that Kostya Novoselov is he developed graphene, this material that very thin material from carbon, and usage of this material allows to change properties of different kind of liquids, of crystallines, of crystal materials, and use it in different industries. So if we are talking about our R&D directions, so you can see them on the slides. So they include, but not restricted by, medicine, energy industry, transportation, nature use, oil and gas, and others. From 2021, we became one of 6 federal centers, AI centers of the Russian Federation. And there are 2 main goals of this center. First is applied and basic research with preparing publications in the top A-star conferences in AI domain and in Q1 journals. So at the moment we have more than 25 publications in A-star conferences and more than 30 papers in Q1 journals. So and all is about AI. If we are talking about applied things, so they are here in this slide. I will mention some of them. First is new materials and usage of AI to solve 3 types of materials design tasks. First is having information about materials, prediction of their properties. Second is prediction of structure of materials with desired properties. And third is a situation where we know information about material structure, the properties that we would like to have. And the task is optimization of technological process that should be used to get materials with desired properties. So, and the application of these fundamental tasks can be very different. And we solve different problems for partners like oil and gas companies, petrochemical industry companies. It's like Cebu. And here we have the task of prediction of the structure of the multi-layer polymers to have the production with desired properties. Tanaka, it's about optimization of technological parameters of bitumen production. Camera, here is the task of the screening of molecules and prediction of their properties to choose such molecules that can be used in drug development and drug design in the future. Also, important tasks that we solve are using computer vision technologies. So, and the computer vision technology is the base for safety of the fuel and energy complex solution, for warehouse logistics, and also for transportation maintenance. And here we solve the task of automatization of visual inspection of vehicle condition and defect detection. We use it for buses, for trams, and for airplanes. Also, medical diagnostics is also an important part for us, of our job. And we have AI radiology platform that at the moment already we analyzed more than 1.5 million images using this AI radiology platform, and with different modalities. It's X-ray, it's CT images, and it's pathomorphology images. Here is a list of our products. It's fully ready products that can be used or can be adapted for use. So using some specific requirements of industries, of our customers, of in different countries. So first, it's artificial cartographer, and it's a framework that allows to build very quickly new services that allows to analyze different kind of geospatial data. And so Diana, so she talked about a few cases of application of this framework for agriculture task solving. Power line monitoring. Here we use our artificial cartographer to monitor using UAV defects of power lines, like violations, deviations, defects, and another defects, and to solve the task of automatic classification of types of power transmission poles and determination of their coordinates. And the next slide, I can tell you a little bit more about some of our solutions. So OCO is the application of our artificial cartographer for monitoring system for territories and linear objects using UAV. And it's a platform that can be scaled by new services, and it uses no-code or low-code technology that can allows users to include their own data sets and their own services based on the the libraries, based on the frameworks that we suggest for them to build this solution. There is another probably funny, but it's a really important application of computer vision in agriculture. It's a solution for enhancing livestock farming practices. And here we use computer vision to estimate the weight of animals, and the accuracy is pretty high. So average error is less than 3% here. And it allows to control animals without direct intervention, to detect abnormalities in their behavior at an early stage, and optimize expenses related to unproductive livestock and enhance overall farm profitability. Another solution is our AI-driven drug discovery platform. And here, this solution covers all main steps of drug discovery, from target identification, hit generation, and properties prediction. And the main goal is to speed up the process and reduce the costs and increase efficiency of searching for new drug molecules. Here we already have some results of validation of our platform on real cases. So we synthesized different kinds of molecules, and we've got first results of in vitro testing of our molecules that were fully produced by our generative AI algorithms of our platform. Another application and direction of our materials design direction is screening of catalysts and electric catalysts. Why it's important? Because most of modern catalysts are based on very expensive materials like platinum, gold, and others. And most of steel companies are looking for opportunities to decrease the cost of production, and they search new materials that have the same properties, but a lot cheaper, much cheaper in production than traditional catalysts. And using machine learning, we can solve these tasks. And we already have several implementations of this technology in large Russian steel companies. Medical diagnostics, so I already told about it. So this platform, AI Radiology, covers several services for medical image analysis in different modalities. Also, we do research here, more fundamental, basic research, and I'm sure that these research results will be used in our future products. It's physics-based deep learning, where we implement information about nature, the different physical models in our deep learning models. It's the task of building interpretable deep learning models. It's also especially important in such domains like healthcare, human AI interaction, and we use gaze-assisted technologies to improve pipeline and the process of radiologists' work during image analysis. So we use it for segmentation. We use it to understand whether physician radiologists analyze all necessary things and pass all necessary steps during analyzing image or not. Also, having a large experience in work with large companies, with industrial solutions, we understand that implementation of AI is not only about neural networks and AI itself. So mostly, so to be sure, to be honest, it's about integration with customers' informational systems. It's about gathering of data sets and preparing them. It's about building infrastructure that can be scaled to solve tasks of our customers. So that's why we built our own data analysis platform, and it consists of two parts. Data Hub is a tool for preparing data sets derived from diverse data sources, and Conveyor, a solution for developing data analysis systems within a business setting that allow to scale up the tasks of our customers. And the last slide is our cooperation proposals. First of all, is research and development projects, and we are looking for opportunities to work here with you, with BRIN, with participants of this webinar. It's use of our products. I hope that probably some of products that I talked about can be interesting for you, for your use. It's joint commercialization, so really, we are open for any kind of opportunities to go to foreign markets, to go into market of Indonesia. And also it's additional education in the AI domain. So we have experts that are ready to share their knowledge, their experience with you or with your partners. And it's also an important direction for us. So that's all. Thank you for your attention. And so I will be glad to answer your questions if you have them.
Thank you, Ramil, for your presentation. And we have, I think, one question. We have one raised hand. Mr. Yudha Nurdin, maybe you want to say something? Okay, maybe it was by mistake. So the question is, how is it possible for a company located from another country establish a collaboration contract with your institution, for example, from Iran?
So the short question is, there are two opportunities I see. So Russian companies can work with Iran companies without any problems, as I know. But there are another opportunities also. So we have some companies like official or not official representatives of branch of Innopolis University in another countries. So we have our representative company in the UAE, and so it's another case. So let's discuss the topic, and I'm sure that we can find opportunity to work, and government bodies, it's not the problem of collaboration in this case, I think.
Thank you for your answer. So Ramil Kuleyev was our last speaker, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. And if there are no any questions, I think that's the time to finish our webinar for today. And we would like to thank you all the participants and all the speakers for your time, for your great presentations. And we hope that this information that our speakers shared today was very useful, interesting for you, and it will contribute also for your future work. So that's it for today. And if you have time, please fill the attendees list that we shared in our chat. And also I shared the link that you can use to find our materials from this webinar. We will upload them by the end of this day. Thank you very much.
Anastasia.
Especially thank you for our colleagues from BRIN to make this webinar possible. We really appreciate this opportunity, and we're happy that we can exchange our knowledge, exchange our experience with you. This was
Thank you very much.
experience, right? Thank you, Mr. Mulyadi.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Amukore. See you again next time.
Yes.
Bye.
See you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye. Have a
Thank
nice
you.
day.
Bye.
Thank you.
Makasih Pak Anto, thank you very much.
Ya, terima kasih Pak. Terima kasih. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Anto.